This video is on chapter 9, which is bonds. And you should have the bond screen with you, or the bond handout, I should say. Okay, what are bonds? Bonds are mini loans. When a company sells a bond, the company is really borrowing money from an investor. Okay, so it's like getting a bunch of little mini loans. And the nice thing is for bonds, you can sell a lot of them to a lot of different people. A bond's face value and interest must be repaid in the future. Bonds have indenture agreements that are similar to loan agreements. The company must fulfill a part of its indenture agreement. So an indenture agreement is the same thing as a loan agreement. Periodic interest payments on bond are sometimes called coupon payments. In the past, bond coupons were torn off and sent in to the issuer. Okay, so one of the kind of odd carryovers from the past is terming interest as coupons, but it used to be in the past you'd have a bond and they'd have these little tabs on the bottom and you'd rip one off and mail it in, and they would send you the payment for the bond. So you had to tear these off and send them to the company, and the company would send you a check based on how many of these coupons you sent in. And if you watch old movies, sometimes they'll talk about, oh, she's up there clipping coupons. What that means is, it's a very wealthy person. They don't have to work. All they have to do is clip coupons and money comes in. So it's kind of a carryover from that they call them coupon rates. Okay, bond types. Secured with collateral, like a mortgage. Like a mortgage is the house is a collateral or the land is a collateral. Unsecured or debenture bonds, not secured with collateral, issued on the general credit of the company, so there is no backing collateral for it. Convertible bonds can be converted into stock. So if the company's doing very well, you can convert your bonds into stock. Callable means that they can be paid off early. The bonds can be paid off earlier than, say, whatever the time period is. So instead of a 10-year bond, they can be paid off in 4 years. And term bonds are bonds are usually what we think of when we think of bonds, and they pay interest every year, and then they pay off the face value at the end of the term. Okay, now the second tab here is really the one that probably the most important one. And in the for the textbook problems and on the test, they say you can use a financial calculator, and you absolutely can. I kind of put it in here in an Excel spreadsheet that you can use also. But either way is fine. Either way is fine. And basically the way this one is set up is that you enter the data here, and the answers comes out on the other side. So these, you just change the answer here, the answer will come out on this other side. Okay, and I'll talk about these in a minute over here. So what we're going to do is problem 1, 2, 3, and see what the bond values are. Okay, so let's take problem 1. Problem 1, the bond face value is 50,000. The coupon rate, or the bond stated rate, is 5.7. Life in years is 12. Payments per year. A lot of times they'll be paid semi-annually, so this is twice a year. So this is a very common thing. And the yield rate, or the market rate, is 6.2. Okay. The value of the bonds is 47,906. And we'll make that green. Okay, now you might be wondering, if the face value of the bond is 50,000, why did we only get this? And it's because of these two. That the coupon rate, that's the rate that's on the bonds, is 5.7, but the market wants 6.2. So they'll still buy the bonds, they just won't pay the full amount. So it's the difference between these two. The bonds are paying less than the market wants. Bonds are paying 5.7, the market wants 6.2. The market will still buy them. They just won't give the full face amount. And this is a percentage of what they are, of what the face amount is. And you might say, well, why do we care about that? Well, you care about that because some people might buy one bond. Some people might buy 50 bonds. Some people might buy 2,000 bonds. They have to know what to write the check for. So they give that percentage and they say, okay, you know, if I'm buying $10,000 worth of bonds times this 95%, now I know what to write the check for. So it's because people are buying different amounts of the bonds. We use this to figure out how much they are going to pay for them. Okay. And so that bond was issued at a discount. Instead of discount because, not a discount, a discount because of these two. And, oh, it's a little bit too harsh. Let's try something a little lighter. Okay, let's go to the next one. 100,000. Interest rate is 7.2. 10 years. Semi-annual again, and the market wants 5.5. Okay. What's the bond value? The bond value is 2,943. Now notice that they paid more than the face value. Why? Because these bonds are paying 7.2%, but the market only wants 5.5%. So the market will bid up the price of these bonds and give you more money. So these will be selling at 112,943 or 112.94%. These bonds are issued at a premium. It's more than the face amount. The last one is a zero coupon bond. It's 100,000, zero coupon, 10%, and the market rate is 6.10. Oops, wrong. So even a coupon rate that's zero, they'll still buy them. Now notice the discount is pretty severe. It goes from, it's about 54% of it. And you'll notice here that there are no, the present value of interest payments is 0 because there aren't any. Okay, here's one more thing that's a little bit odd about this problem, and I noticed that this in the homework. If you think about it, if it's a 0 coupon bond, it's not going to be paid semi-annually. There's not going to be any payments on it. But it matters when you're calculating the interest rate on it, if they are, because 2 payments in a year actually changes the interest rate a little bit. And so be careful on that, because I think one of the homework problems asked about it being 0, but it said it's semi-annual. So make sure if it is semi-annual, you put that in. And I'll show you kind of why here. If this was only for a 1-year period, it'll change this amount. Doesn't change it a lot, but it changes it a little. And the reason being is that if you multiply, I'll show you. How do I want to do this? If something is at 108%, in other words, you're going to pay the face value plus 8%. If you pay it semi-annually, it'll be 2 periods of 1.04. Which are compounded. They'll be multiplied by each other. So it'll actually be a little bit higher if it's semi-annual. The actual effective interest rate is a little bit higher because of the compounding. So that's why you gotta be a little careful on this. And sometimes on the 0 coupon bond on the homework and the exam, make sure you look at whether if they say it's semi-annual, put it in as semi-annual, or else it might mark it wrong. Now in the homework, you get unlimited tries on it, so it does mark it wrong. Put it in as semi-annual, and it should, again, for 0 coupon bonds, it really shouldn't be semi-annual because it's not paid at all. There's no first payment or second payment. It's, just the whole year is the number of periods. Okay, one of the things they also asked though is for the, why does something sell at par value, a discount, or premium? Okay, if the coupon rate is exactly the same as the stated rate, it'll sell at 100%. It'll sell at whatever the face value is. Okay, so that's when these two come in. Now you'll notice that these are exactly the same thing. Coupon rate equal to the yield rate equal to the coupon rate. Okay, exactly the same thing. Coming down here for the discount. The coupon rate is less than the yield rate. That'll give you a coupon. In other words, if this is less than this, let's say 8.84, it'll be a discount. So if the coupon rate is less than the yield rate, it'll be a discount. Here it is said the exact same thing said differently. If the yield rate is more than the coupon rate, it'll be a discount. So these two are actually exactly the same thing. A coupon rate less than a yield rate is exactly the same as a yield rate more than the coupon rate. And it follows through down here. Yeah, it looks too much like the first one. That doesn't matter. If the coupon rate is more than the yield rate, it'll be a premium. If the yield rate is less than the coupon rate, it'll be a premium. So these two are actually saying exactly the same thing. In other words, it'll come out to be more than 100%, in this case, 106%. So sometimes the questions they'll ask, you know, why was this sold at a discount? Why was this sold at a premium? Or why was this sold at par value? And this kind of table kind of will kind of get you there as far as, you can also just plug numbers in here, you know. If they say that the coupon rate is higher than the yield rate, but, you know, just do it and see what comes out on the other side. Okay. Okay, that was chapter 9, and I will see you guys for chapter 10.